Hi, people. It is your girl, the one, the only, and I'm back today in the new year in 2020 with a general love reading. I know y'all definitely have missed me. I have missed me. I've really just been doing like the spicy vision view for my readings for the past couple of weeks, I believe, only because your girl be tired. I be having stuff to do. My schedule be changing around. So since I already have my YouTube set up, it's like I don't be feeling like getting my other equipment. You feel me? But I just felt like today I had to come back and just go ahead and show my face. So shout outs to everybody that has been watching my lives. I've been going strong for how many weeks now? For like, I don't know. I feel like I've been going strong for like October, November, December, legit like 3 months. 3 months now, almost 3.5 months, just about. So that's actually pretty lit, and I'm excited to keep going. Some things have changed. In my daily life. So I'm definitely glad that I've been able to continue doing what I love to do. So it's pretty nice. I haven't really read all week, so it might take me some time to really truly get into it, but I'm definitely excited to be here today. If you are excited to be here today, let me know. I'm excited to see you. So with that being said, today the general love reading is going to encompass a lot of different areas. I'm going to be asking a lot of different questions. I didn't really know what to settle on, so I was like, you know what, let me just ask a whole bunch of little tiny questions. So definitely stay tuned for my pick-a-cards. I took a little hiatus because of the holiday season. It is what it is, so definitely stay tuned. The questions that we will be looking at today are: what is the biggest lesson you will learn in 2020 concerning love? What are you manifesting into your life? Mind you, the entire reading is about love, so it's in the arena of love and relationships. What are your challenges in 2020, and how can you overcome them? So I'll give you some advice. What changes should you expect within this upcoming year? We're going to see if Spirit has any tough love questions. Tough love messages. Rather, we're going to see if Spirit has any tough love messages. And then last but not least, we're going to look at how should you flex. So how should you big up yourself for 2020? Whether that be self-confidence, esteem, self-love, I don't know what it is, like looking sexy, being seductive, persuasive, attractive, I don't know what it is. So we're just going to look at that. How should you flex this year? So let's just go ahead and get started. My favorite thing to do is to check in and see what the current energy and vibes are. I love using these Kipper cards. They're fortune telling cards. So let's see, before we ask the first question, what is your biggest lesson you will learn in 2020? Let's see what the current vibe and energy is. Let's see if I can get any messages to come out as far as what is going on with you. Yeah. So some of you, for some reason, sorry, some of these cards flipped over. Wait, give me 1 second, because I have cards that are flipped over, and I don't like that. All right, so let's see what's going on. For some reason, what's coming up again is that someone, you might have recently ended a relationship with someone. This could have been someone that wasn't giving you the balanced relationship, so an equal type of give and take. You might have definitely ended a relationship with someone. You have the coffin card here. So when I see this coffin card, it's kind of like not even the death card. It's like the 10 of swords, where it's like, okay, this situation is over and is done with, because death speaks of transformation. Now, if you want to take it into the realms of incarnation and understanding that when the body dies, Well, the physical body passes away, the spirit, continues to live because energy can't be destroyed. It really is just transmuted. You could think about it that way. Maybe, there might be some type of second go around with this person, but I feel like you've decided to let this person go. If you haven't, you might be deciding on letting someone go who is taking more so than they are giving and returning. So you're showing up as someone who could definitely be very self-affirmed in who you are. But I do see that someone here is dealing with some health issues. And it might be the person that you've ended a relationship with. I've been hearing that a lot, is that person has been going through some health issues. So it's kind of being confirmed here again too. But you've decided, like, you really went back and forth and possibly even literally had to go to your higher self and be like, okay, what's really good? Listen to your intuition. And that kind of just told you that, like, look, you got to let this situation go with this person. So yeah, you might definitely be very hung up about it. You might be feeling some type of way about your decision. Hey, it's nice to see y'all in 2020. You might be really in despair about your decision, but I want you to know that, like, through disparity, through the death of situations, a transformation does happen. So that's one way in which this coffin card can relate to transformation and something new kind of being opened up to you. Usually when one door closes and one opportunity doesn't work out, there's something else that's going to be made available to you. So that could be something as well. So if you let a relationship go with someone who was taking more so than giving, then there might definitely be something open up for you. And we're going to see in today's reading, we're going to see what's going on. But you definitely had some type of expectation with this person that they would potentially give you more than they did. You might have held some type of expectation for yourself and for your own behavior. But this situation is kind of dead and gone. Yeah, so like I said, through disparity and through transformation, through the ending of a circumstance and a situation, something new is going to be presented. And we have the gift card. So some of you all might be expecting a more significant love relationship this year. And significant doesn't necessarily have to mean, oh, you might just be getting married and you're not dating anybody right now. But it could definitely mean that you finally met someone that you actually like. I know that's how it is with me. Like, finally, I've met someone that I like. You know what I'm trying to say? So that could be significant. Or you taking a relationship that you're already in, you're dating someone, you take it to the next level, you make it serious. Or you're dating someone already and y'all decide to become engaged. Or if you're already engaged, then a marriage happens. You feel me? So some type of gift is going to be introduced to you as well. It could also be a financial gift. So the universe could literally be gifting you some type of a money or something, or a significant relationship. I just think it's because you decide to stop fucking with this person, or you're deciding to stop if you're still dealing with this person. But this person might be dealing with some health issues that's coming up, but you definitely had a high expectation for them, and they really just kind of took. Yeah. So they took so much from you that you literally felt like you had nothing left. This could have been material. So this could have been someone that was, in a sense, I don't want to say it, but it came to mind, was kind of like tricking off you. I don't know. You know how some people are, where it's like they get you all wrapped up with them emotionally, and then before you know it, you're helping them with little things, and then it becomes bigger demands and stuff like that. So now you're giving when you don't really have much to give. Is what I kind of see from this person as well. But yeah, this is ending. This is definitely ending, is what I can see. That's if you're deciding to let go of this person, or you already have. So some of y'all might have definitely incurred some type of poverty while dealing with this person. So while y'all were dating, we have the courtship card that's kind of coming up there as well. But while y'all were dating, you definitely incurred a lot of bills and expenses just fucking with this person. Like, look, that's why I stay to myself, because I'm too expensive and bougie for my income. You feel me? And I know what it is, and it is what it is. Like, so that's kind of what's going on with y'all. What's showing up is that you are definitely ending or have ended a relationship with someone who was more so of a taker as opposed to a giver. And it left you kind of really torn up, you know. And this could have been financially, this could have been emotionally, because it doesn't always have to be about money. It could also be within like your energy exchange, you know what I'm trying to say. And they weren't really giving back to the connection. So that shit is ending. Isn't that good to hear with the new year? That some bullshit is ending. That's just great to hear. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the first question, which is, what is the biggest lesson that you will learn in 2020 in regards to love? I'm gonna go ahead and pull these cards from the power deck. I like these cards because they have like different artwork, and it's not like the traditional tarot where it's like you can't see the card. And I don't look at my cards. I just shuffle and let them come out, you know? But these are kind of like different, which is pretty cool. So let's see what your biggest lesson is that you will learn in 2020. Not to say that you won't have any other lessons. This is just your biggest lesson. So the biggest lesson that you got was virtue. And virtue, it says, is one of the passive qualities of power. When you pull back the bow, preparing to set the arrow and to find your target, you use the strength, the will, and the focus that you have collected within the part of yourself called virtue. Virtue is when you find inner truth. It is a place of illumination, and as the radiance grows within you, it becomes integrity. All right, so for the most part, this card is saying that this year, the biggest lesson that you are going to learn is being authentic and true to yourself. Basically, not falling for the okie doke. Not falling for the okie doke, because it's easy to do that. When you have a more moral compass, when you are able to center yourself, you understand what feels right to you, you understand what does not feel right to you, then it's very easy for you to develop, like I said, a sense of integrity and doing what feels right to you at all times, because you have that moral compass to judge. So if you're dealing with someone that isn't really a positive individual, if you're dealing with someone who you just don't feel a sense of harmony and peace when you're around this person, then that virtue within you is gonna be like your moral compass. It's gonna direct you where you need to go. And as long as you are pointing yourself in the right direction, you're on the right path for you. We all have different paths. We all have different challenges. So it's best to find what works best for you. So that's what's going to be your biggest lesson that you will learn in 2020, is your own personal virtue and doing what feels right for you. Hey everyone, say hey to Xavier. Hi. He's chilling with me today. All right, see ya. He's chilling with me today. So we have virtue. Let's go ahead and see what goddess wants to come out and give us a message. Oh, so we have two goddesses actually, which is funny because they're like a juxtaposition. We have one that is water, literally, and then we have one that is, to me, seems like fire, but it's Spider Woman with co-creation. And then you have Mama, I don't want to pronounce her name wrong, but I feel like it's Josha with water. And so for the most part, I feel like these two goddesses represent, give me 1 second. Come on. Why are you calling him? All right, I'm busy right now.
She's not gonna let me go back in here.
All right, just relax. All right, sorry, I am back. So for the most part, with the Spider Woman and co-creation, is going to be very important for you to take more of a empowered approach to your life, especially your love and relationships. That part of your life is going to be very important for you to develop the type of empowerment that comes through the form of a passion, fire, and motivation to actually be as a spider, to create your own web. I just thought of web of lies, just playing. To create your own web of truth, to create your own safety net, in a sense, to where if you're out in the world and something just doesn't seem right to you, you can always fall back on that net that you created for yourself, and be so much more in an empowered sense instead of just kind of going with the flow. Sometimes it's terrible to kind of go with the flow, but then we have good water here, which represents immutable energy as well. So flexibility, in a sense, going with the flow. So I feel like this card also is saying that, like, you don't have to be scared anymore to go out into the world. So some of y'all could have had really immense like control issues or lots of fear and anxiety, and just kind of being afraid of the outcomes of the certain decisions that you make when it comes to love and relationships. As long as you are moving forward and operating with a sense of virtue, as long as you know who you are and you're working with spirit actively to co-create your life and your future, especially your reality, then when it comes to love and relationships, be flexible. Go out into the world and explore. So some of y'all could have definitely been withheld, definitely had a lot of stuck energy, just the type of person that's like, well, no, I'm not gonna date, or you were either really stuck on one particular person. You know, it's time for you to get out there and to really explore and see what's out there for you, but to understand that as long as you have a strong sense of virtue, as long as you have a strong sense of morality and integrity, and as long as you are actively co-creating your reality and your future, you're going to be completely fine. Even if you encounter something that doesn't seem right to you, you'll still be able to feel empowered within yourself to know, like, you know what, that doesn't feel right to me. I'm not going to deal with that anymore. Instead of feeling like this the end of the world, I have to put up with this, and now you're incurring so many more issues that if you just would have let it go, you wouldn't have, you know, really dealt with. You feel what I'm trying to say? So it's just kind of being more empowered within yourself, and that's the biggest lesson that you will learn in 2020. Let me know if y'all fuck with it. Let me know. Hey, Xavier.
Yeah.
Xavier.
Yeah.
When you go outside, you always have to close the door. All right, so let's move on to question number 2. What are you manifesting into your life? What are you manifesting into your life? Which cards am I going to use? I think I'm going to use the tarot. Specifically the urban tarot. I'm going to use the tarot, and I have like one. Actually, I should probably use this deck, and then I'll go into the tarot. I'll expand. Excuse me. I don't remember the name for this deck. I feel like it's the Sacred. No, it's not the Sacred Oracle. I don't know, y'all. I can't remember. So what are you manifesting into your life? So I have a couple different messages. But I feel like the main message that's kind of jumping out right now is that a lot of you all are finally getting into the driver's seat of your own life as far as when it comes to love, romance, relationships. So you might have definitely been very passive, very submissive, or also very stubborn. So not, regardless of what was kind of going on with you, you might have had some issues with inactivity, with just staying in the same place. I'm kind of getting the vibe that some people might have been stuck in old relationship patterns and cycles. Some people have been stuck with someone who isn't beneficial to their growth at this point in time. Not to say that you can't ever reconnect with someone in the future, but as far as what is going on with you right now, that person might have not been beneficial. And others of you have definitely been in a place of just like just being stubborn and stuck. Like, I don't want to get out there. I don't want to date. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with that. Like, it just is what it is. Oh, my candle burned out. Wow, that was fast. But okay. I'm like, wow, that was fast. Or maybe I put it out. I don't know. I did a lot of moving. But for the most part, I see that a lot of you all are finally taking action to bring about some type of change or transformation into your life. Now, this might have been a very hard change to make, but I feel like you're walking away with your own dignity. So you could be walking away from old relationship patterns and cycles. You could be walking away from an individual. But for the most part, you just was kind of like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna move. So if you're not dating, I could see you probably engaging in more self-care, you know, getting yourself together. I remember when I used to play The Sims, and there was an option called Gussy Up. Does anybody remember that? For some reason, Gussy Up just came to my mind. And I don't know, I have to look up what Gussy Up means, but for some reason, it kind of makes me feel like you're kind of like making yourself pretty and beautiful. Not to say that you aren't, already are. Not to judge on anybody's looks. We're not superficial over here, but it's just kind of like you're making yourself feel better. You're increasing your self-confidence by working on, you know, external things that might seem superficial to some people, but hey, I like the gussy up. I like the gussy up. I like to get myself together. You feel me? So it seems that a lot of you all might be leaving a relationship behind, and one that could have definitely been a lot of love there within that relationship. There could have been a lot of just pure emotion. Someone could have definitely loved you, but for some reason I'm seeing that you all have just focused more so on the spiritual side of things, or you will be focusing more so on the spiritual side of things. And just, if you're a woman, just getting more into your divine feminine energy. And if you're a man, vice versa, getting more into your divine masculine energy is kind of what I see as well. So that's what you're manifesting. You're walking away from some old relationships, patterns, probably ways that which, like I said, cycles. And these aren't things that, you know, always depend on external people. These are things that depend on ourselves, you know, things that are going on inside of us. But I see that you just are like, you know what, I'm about to just get out of my head, I'm about to get out of the situation, and I'm about to keep it moving, and I'm about to keep it pushing. So yeah, a lot of you all are going to definitely be very victorious, whatever it is that you're walking away from, whether, like I said, it be those old cycles, relationships. A lot of you are going to be very victorious. I've seen that whatever it is that you're walking away from is very painful. It's something that caused a lot of heartache and strife. Something that causes a lot of heartache and strife. But I definitely see that you are, in a sense, going to be letting go. You'll be letting go of this situation, releasing control. And that's an awesome thing, because I definitely see that as you let go and release control, you're going to be more in balance within yourself. You're going to be more of like the temperance card, which is, it's a healing energy, because you're finding some type of equilibrium and some type of balance within your own emotions. And emotional regulation is very important. Emotional regulation literally rules our life. Like it rules. Like if you don't have good emotional regulation, things are going to be very difficult and challenging. So yeah, I see that a lot of you all are taking less risks. You're taking less risks. I feel like in the past you might have taken a risk with this relationship, or just taking a risk as far as continuing to live your life, but knowing at the end of the day you were still on the same shit. You were still on the same shit, still dealing with the same person, still in the same type of cycles. I see that you all are finally letting go, giving up, and taking a personal risk. And so it might seem as though things are a little unclear and unsure to you, because you're doing something different that you haven't done before. But basically, Spirit just want to tell you that as you let go, you become a lot much more freer. You give up a lot of those things that have happened to you in the past. And yes, those things have shaped who you are, but those things also don't have to shape your reality and your future and where you're going. So that's what's coming up as well. That's amazing. That's beautiful. Like a lot of you all are finally taking some type of control and action over your life. So yeah, you're all right. So as you guys begin to let go, You may be faced with a lot of different options, a lot of different opportunities. Just understand that as you learn a lesson, there's always a bigger lesson to follow, or there's even more temptation. So just stay true to your course of focusing on yourself, becoming one and whole within yourself, to bring about a true change and happiness, and to, in a sense, not overindulge in the options and possibilities of what could be. You just did all this healing for a reason. So don't backtrack, and start dealing with a whole bunch of different things and opportunities and people that don't really apply to you. So when you learn your lesson and have the courage, the strength and the faith to apply it to future situations, because there are always going to be future situations. It's not just like you learn the lesson and that's it. You learn the lesson and you're going to get tested. And if you pass the test, okay, it's done. We moving on now. You feel what I'm trying to say? So as you learn your lesson and you become victorious, make sure that you also look out for the challenges that might attach themselves to the lesson that you just learned. You feel me? All right. So what are you manifesting? Wholeness. All right, I think I'm doing good on time. So let's move on to, what are your challenges? What are your challenges? I'm going to use the Modern Witch Tarot deck. Shake up the energy. All right, let's get, what are your challenges for 2020? 2020. Shout outs to everybody watching my live. Hey. Hey. Sorry, I got like 10 cards that came out. If you're wondering why I don't shuffle the other way, it's because A, I don't like bending my cards, and B, I have these long nails, and not today. All right. All right. So let me just go ahead and get, how many more cards? 3 more cards, and I'll go ahead and put these messages together. Because I'll be like so hyped once I see the first card to be like, okay, I know. But it's like, let me go ahead and get the rest of the message down, and we'll go from there. All right, you want to come out. Yeah, this is clearly about love. It was about love anyway, but the cards have revealed to me that it is clearly about love. All right, so I got my cards down, and I'll just keep this deck on standby for clarification as I need it. The question is, what are your challenges? All right. So a lot of y'all seem like y'all like me. We're alike. I see you. For the most part, it seems that a lot of you all have definitely dealt with a lot of fears, anxieties, insecurities, a lot of not really knowing where you stand when it comes to a certain type of relationship, or even just within the realm of the realm of love, relationships, intimacy. Like, you don't really know where you stand, whether it be with one particular person or just in general. And this is something that has definitely been running through your mind. I feel as though typically the people I read for are adults. And when you get to a certain age, you kind of just want to move forward within a connection, no matter what it is. Everybody has their different levels of commitment that they value. But I feel like for the most part, people want to be able to have some type of intimate rapport with another individual or several. I don't know. It is what it is. Because people really be having like 5 girlfriends and 5 boyfriends. Like, they really be doing that. But for the most part, it seems like you all have definitely had some types of fears and anxieties within your outlook to the universe and to spirit, and you're sitting here really wondering and waiting. It's like you really put in so much work. You really have been patient. You've really just been trying to wait on your turn, wait on your chance. I kind of got the song "Wait for Love" by Luther Vandross. So I guess you could listen to that song too. I actually love that song. It's one of my favorite, like within my top 3 Luther Vandross songs. But for the most part, a lot of you all definitely been trying to wait, but then you've also been trying to push past the grain, too. I don't know how I got that. So it's like, as much as you wait, it's like when you finally meet someone, you kind of want to like speed that relationship up so that you can finally get the type of gratification that it is that you've been waiting on, one that you've been anxious about, one that you've really been like trying to manifest into your life. And kind of what I'm getting also is that it's going to be important for you, I guess, to continue. Yeah, for some reason, I'm getting it's going to be important for you to explore. Okay, I just got it. It's going to be important for you to explore your own cycles, your own patterns. So the things that you're walking away from, those things that you're walking away from is going to be very important for you to be able to face those things, to explore those things, to understand why they are there, to understand the lessons that you have learned, and then to do better and to move on. So that is going to be your biggest challenge right there, is to be able to face yourself, to understand that, once you know better, you do better, to be able to delve deep into your emotions, into your subconscious place. And then when you're doing like serious dark night of the soul work, you can still have fun too. You can still unleash your wild side, is kind of what I'm getting as well. So as you're doing this healing work, as you're facing your fears, don't only think about like the bad traumatic times. Also think about the good times, and think about the fact that if you love yourself now, then you also have to appreciate the things that you went through that brought you to where you are now. So this is really like a loving yourself type of journey, and really pushing past those fears and those anxieties. But of course, while you're in this mode of waiting, this is also an assessing mode. This is also assessing as well. It's kind of how I look at it. Very similar to the 7 of Pentacles, in my opinion, is because as you're waiting, you're thinking. As you're thinking, you're assessing. Like, that's just how the human mind works. We're always thinking about something, trying to problem solve, trying to critically think, analyze the situation, XYZ. You're doing the same thing as you're in this period of waiting. But I also got the Chariot card again. And if you peep, she has a wand in her hand. So she's literally opening up roads and creating the reality that not she, it's just a she in the picture, but you're finally being that co-creator, similar to the Spider Woman, and you're weaving your own web. You feel what I'm trying to say? You're creating with spirit your own reality. You're creating your own future. So that's what's coming up as well, is you having the strength and the determination to really push past all of these things that you've dealt with, all of these fears and anxieties that come with having a mutually beneficial, mutually giving relationship. For some people, I feel like you might be having anxieties about your children. If you have children, you might be having anxieties about them as well. Maybe you want them to grow up in a two-parent household, something like that. Maybe you want them to grow up to know how to give to others, to know how to love others, to be able to love themselves with the 2 of Cups, and it's saying like you might have to go deep into look at why those fears are there, begin to explore those things, face them, and move forward. So I feel like within you moving forward from the relationship or old cycles and patterns, a lot of that just has to do with you, like I said, being able to look at the situation realistically and being like, you know what, I'm gonna move forward with my dignity, I'm gonna move forward with my grace. So the readings kind of blending into each other. All right, so those are your challenges. My next question was, how can you overcome them? But I feel like I just said it's going to be important for you to face things head on. So I feel like I kind of answered that question already. Face your challenges head on. You remember that commercial would be like, head on, apply directly to the forehead. Facts. Like, apply the issue directly to your forehead where your third eye is, which rules your intuition and your psychic ability. Do that. Head on. I'm dead. Head on. Apply directly to the forehead. Okay, so let's look at what changes you should expect in 2020. Let's see how much time I have. 5, 10, 15. Wait, 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm like 20 minutes or so. I feel like I should be able to answer these next questions if I spend like roughly 5 minutes on each. What changes should you expect? Which cards do I want to use and what changes you should expect? All right, I'm going to use the Chinese tarot and I'm going to go back. Actually, for some reason, the Urban Tarot is asking me to use this deck again. I don't think it was done. So what changes should you expect? What changes should you expect? And mind you, I'm reading the cards upright and I'm reading them in the reverse. It just is what it is. Typically, I'm like, oh, let me just read the cards upright, but fuck it. So I got a lot of cards here, and I'm just going to take them. So what changes should you expect? Okay, so first, let me see what's on the bottom of this deck. Okay, well, that makes sense. All right, so, bottom of the deck was the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. So let's just keep her upright and say that this could be an overall energy or just kind of the undertone. But for the most part, what should you expect in 2020? What changes should you expect? Now, you should expect a lot of things that may not have seemed clear to you in the past, a lot of things which may have seemed kind of deceptive, or you might have been confused or disillusioned about things. You should expect those things to finally clear up. You should expect those things to come to the forefront. You should expect things to reveal themselves. So as far as within love and relationships, there might have been some things, some cliffhangers, a situation, a relationship could have been left on some type of pause, or something's just not clear to you. It's kind of like a missing piece to the puzzle that you don't really understand. And honestly, with the devil card showing up, this rocker dude, in my opinion, I am grateful. I'm grateful that those things didn't come to light, because I don't think that you were in a position to really be able to process that information in a healthy manner, and then to be able to move on with the confidence of the Queen of Wands, or to be able to delineate the situation, to be able to even defend yourself. I feel like you might have been dealing with a situation that was very deceptive. You could have been dealing with a situation that really had you torn up and heartbroken. And what is coming up as far as what should you expect is a releasing of all of that energy, especially if you play your part and let go. I feel that is going to help a lot. Is for you to play your part and to let go of the situation, to let things be, to walk away with your dignity. You'll find that you'll start to release a lot of that heartbreak, that sorrow. You'll start to release all of the pointless. I mean, it wasn't pointless to you, because I'm sure your heart was very much in whatever it is that you're doing, or even if it's a relationship cycle, a pattern, your heart's been there, your body has been there, you're well adjusted to that. So coming out of that is going to make you uncomfortable, because now you're doing something that you've never done before, right? So as far as that releasing and letting go, it's like you're gonna understand that you're letting go of the pointlessness. is that a word? The pointlessness of the situation. Like it kind of wasn't within your best interest or serving you. So a lot of the devil energy doesn't always only talk about toxic codependency, but it also talks about breaking free and letting go of something that no longer serves you. If the devil energy is very much about a releasing energy, you're releasing those toxic cycles, patterns, people, things that you used to do in the past that no longer serve you, things that you did in the past that didn't have you. Seven of Swords, basically Seven of Swords, showing up within your true authenticity. You were robbing from yourself. You were only instilling yourself with Three of Swords, heartbreak, disappointment, sorrow, and whatnot. So there was a lot kind of going on in which you weren't really stepping up into your true self. So I really feel if you decide to listen to the biggest lesson that you will learn in 2020, which is virtue, which is finding what works for you, and having that moral compass in which you can be able to like compare and contrast things to. Like, I think it's okay to compare and contrast. If you don't compare and contrast, then you're going to be susceptible and liable to like find yourself in any type of situation. It's important for you to have that moral compass, like I said, so that you are able to decide, okay, is this situation right for me or is it not? But how do you find out if a situation is right for you or not? If you are like me and you've been through hella shit, it's by learning through your lessons or listening to someone who can actually mentor you. If you're a woman, on feminine knowledge, if you're a man, on masculine knowledge. And then you know better and you do better. So if you're anybody like me, the streets kind of raised you. The streets raised you as opposed to actual parents. But for the most part, the changes that are going to be happening is that you're definitely going to be looking at ways in which you were not empowering yourself by showing up within your true self. You feel what I'm trying to say? So those are the changes that you should expect. A lot of healing work that's going on, a lot of facing your fears, looking at things for what they are, and developing more of a sense of integrity is really what's coming up in 2020. I'm so proud of y'all. Like, I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud of me because I'm reading for the collective and shit. I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud of me. This is amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Especially with the Queen of Wands, y'all. Like, the Queen of Wands as an undertone, she don't take bullshit. Even the Queen of Wands in reverse, I've learned. She does not take the BS. Like, if something does not work for her, she's going to move on. You know why? Because she's that bad. Like, at the end of the day. So let's see how much time I have. 5, 10, 15 minutes or so. Okay, so does Spirit have any tough love messages that they want to give? Any tough love messages? Any deck calling out to me? Chinese tarot. Alright, any tough love messages? I'm using the Chinese tarot deck. Let's see. Any tough love messages? Any tough love messages? Is there anything that the collective needs to be aware of? Is there anything that the collective been doing that they shouldn't have been doing? Anything that you need to say? What BS they been up to? What BS the collective been up to? Okay, I was about to say, they don't got no messages. I'm dead. The Queen of Wands came up again. So let's see if I can get, hopefully if I can get 2 more cards. All right, so we have the 9 of Cups. Uh-oh. I got y'all. A lot of y'all have been using your hurt. A lot of y'all have been using your depression, or just an overall hardness and a shell that you've developed through your struggles within love and romance and intimate relationships. A lot of y'all have been using that in not so positive ways. So a lot of you all have been very, I don't like calling people, I'm in the mental health field. I'm a whole social worker, and I'm like, I don't want to call people depressed. Like, because depression is real. But a lot of you all might have been experiencing some depression. You might have been isolating yourself. So really taking yourself out the game, whether that be isolating yourself from love, romance, relationships, just being like fuck love, or whether it be isolating yourself from friends and potentially family. But for the most part, a lot of you all have been using your depression and your hurt to overindulge. You can overindulge in multiple different ways. Some people like to smoke weed. Some people do harder drugs. Some people drink. Some people binge drink. Some people binge eat. Some people don't eat at all. So there's some type of way in which you've been overindulging, and that's something that has to be looked at as well. Spirit is telling you about that as well. You've been overindulging in whatever it is, but too much of anything is kind of a bad thing. You know, everything in moderation, right? But a lot of you all have also been utilizing your depression and that overall toughness and hardness that you might have in that exterior to, in a sense, kind of run over people, to run over people, to potentially even manipulate people, bending other people to your will, because you've kind of been hurt and heartbroken. So there's some type of toughness that you've developed over time. Yeah, it has to do with the fact of you being really, you cutting yourself off. So you've been cutting yourself off from, I guess, love. It's just, it's like I said, it's just the overall sense of detachment of some type of tough, rough exterior or something that you have. So don't believe me, the cards are saying you're coming up as the King of Cups. The King of Cups in reverse. So it's some type of I don't know, like, you're definitely a persuasive person. You're definitely someone who knows what it is that they want. You're someone who does have the ability to lead, and people will listen. But at the same time, a lot of what you've been doing has been from a place of hurt, has been from a place of depression. And then you've also been overindulging as well, and very emotionally detached. So yeah, your lesson is going to be more so in finding ways in the meantime, because I see that you are going through some type of healing process right now. So in the meantime, as you're trying to master and co-create your life, remember to also have that flexibility. So the juxtaposition, let me see if the two cards are still on the top. Yep, they are. Yep, they are. So the juxtaposition between co-creation and then also being like water energy, which is also flexible. So even if things don't particularly work out in the way in which you see them working out, still be appreciative and understand that you can always be flexible with things. So if plan A don't work out, be flexible and utilize plan B. And as you're waiting, you know, try to be flexible and mutable with other people. Let's say your heart isn't ready for you to get out there and date, but you can still pull yourself out of that stubbornness and that stuck energy of being like fuck love by finding little ways to give towards others. So you also have the 3 of Wands and the 6 of Cups. So finding ways to give to others, whether that be in volunteering. The holiday season is over, but people still need shit all year round. So whether that be volunteering, by helping others, doing your own type of community outreach. I don't know, like if you are involved in a nonprofit, if you work in the service industry, so basically something along those lines. Find some type of way to give your time and energy towards others, even if you don't feel like getting back out there in, you know, the love and romance field. Then
Finding your charger.
I don't have one, and I'm on live, so take it in the room. Thank you. See you later.
I use your charger.
No,
You're using it.
Xavier, I'm on live. Thank you. But for the most part, whether that be giving towards others, just being in the service industry and whatnot. So even though you might be a little hard, a little rough around the edges, find some type of way to open yourself up to others and to be a little flexible. So that's your tough love messages, is like, You've been utilizing that tough hard exterior to try to bend others to your will, and you gotta chill. You gotta chill, calm it down, be a little bit much more flexible. Meet people where they're at. You know, this is something I have to work on too, because I don't be feeling like doing that shit. Like, I really don't. Like, and that's that on that. Okay, so how should you flex to big up yourself? Let's see, 5. Yep, I have just enough time to answer this question. How should you flex and big up yourself? I'm just gonna go ahead and stick. Actually, no, Urban Tarot. Yo, Urban Tarot really been calling me. Like, Urban Tarot is like, you need to use me. So I will. All right, off the rip. How should you big up and flex? You got the Magician. The Magician definitely fits into the energy of co-creation. Co-creation. I like how like my messages really be flowing together. Shout out to Spirit. So let's go ahead and put the Spider Woman card next to the Magician. But the Magician card is really all about co-creation. Taking those things that are not in the physical world and bringing them down from the spiritual to the physical and manifesting, you know, manifesting. That's really what the Magician is about. And it takes a lot to get into the Magician energy. Like I didn't know how much it took. It really takes moving past fear, going through the dark night of the soul so that you can be even more efficient. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've did things, started things, stopped things, started projects, postponed projects, put them on hold, didn't think about them ever again because of all the BS that I was going through. But I didn't realize that I needed to take some time to really push past all of those things to understand why there was some type of insecurity there or lack of confidence, because all of those fears and anxieties affect your ability to manifest. So once I started like loving myself more, putting myself first, it became a lot much more easier to be able to manifest what it is that I wanted. I can't tell you that I would be on live 3 years ago doing this. Like, I can't tell you that I would do that because I wasn't. I wasn't. It just is what it is. But yeah, so how should you flex? Be in your manifesting energy, whatever that is to you, understanding that you have all the tools that you need to bring about whatever vision or goal. You might not have all the money in the world, but you just got to kind of take little steps forward is kind of what I understood. Type of person I am when it comes to work, I'm very meticulous like a Virgo, and I work hard like a Capricorn. So I'm just kind of like, no, this has to be this way, and I need this thing to have this result. But all you can do is literally take one step at a time until you're able to acquire those resources and then do that. So what can you do today? What can you do with what it is that you have? You feel what I'm trying to say? If you only have, like, for example, with me, like, I literally only have my phone, my equipment, my tarot decks. What can I do with that to, you know, do what I want to do? You feel what I'm trying to say? Like, for example, I'm making costumes now, and I have leftover, you know, materials from the past 2 years where I've made costumes. So what can I do with what it is that I have? And then as I start to acquire more money and more resources, then I can do more. But you kind of just do what you can right now so that you don't stifle your creativity and that self-confidence that is built up as you manifest. So it's not like as soon as you decide to be a magician, it's not like the first thing you do is going to be the most awesome and best thing ever. It takes time for you to work your way up. Hey, it takes time for you to work your way up and to keep going. Like, an artist, they don't be getting hot off of their first song. 9 times out of 10, that nigga, 9 times out of 10, that person has came out with like 20 songs, 40 songs, like just nut-ass songs, like a whole bunch of stuff until they reach that, they have that one song and that song pops, and now their career is just like catapulted into something else. You see what I'm trying to say? So it takes a lot of time to get into the magician energy, but I feel like once you're there and you push past the fears, it's like, that's it. That's a wrap. Like that's really a wrap. So how should you flex in 2020 is just by manifesting. So whether that be wanting to manifest a love relationship, how do you manifest a love relationship? You do for yourself. That's number one. That's number one. You do for yourself. Everything that you seek in a partner, you should be able to find within yourself. So you develop those qualities, those behaviors, those characteristics. You develop that within yourself. You want to mess with somebody that got hella bread? Work so that you got hella bread. Get into that energy and vibration. So basically that's what that is. Should I take another one? Damn, a whole bunch of cards came out. Let's see how much time I have anyway. I'll just take this one more and then I'll get into see if we have an affirmation. Okay, this is nice. So, how should you big up yourself? This is like the big up yourself card in the tarot deck. This is the 9 of Pentacles. So you can see her, she's in a jacuzzi. She got the cucumbers on her eyes because she been working. So her eyes been hella puffy. Like she been tired. She been up working, doing hella stuff. Now she relaxing. So this is literally amazing. It's like you work, you manifest, but then you also put time into your own self-care as well. So that's how you should big up. This year is kind of, sorry, my ring light. There you go. There, I got it now. Got the angle down right. So basically this year, really, as far as with like big up in yourself and your confidence, it's all about building up your confidence to manifest, coming out with your projects, realizing that you have all it is that you need, and then also using some time for self-care. So like me, I love spending money on myself. I love it. I love having things, and that's just the Leo in me. We love having things, but we also like giving people things as well. But for the most part, once you get your profits, and this could be a thing too, because I don't really spend too much time like getting facials and massages and chilling out in jacuzzis and shit like that. Like it might be really important now to utilize some of your money, the things that you gain off of your manifestations on self-care things. So like baths and facials and you know what I'm trying to say? Shit that's not like legit material, but it's an experience that you had and it makes your body feel good. So for some reason I just kind of got Reiki, also acupuncture, Reiki, this like mind body things that are going to be beneficial to your mind and to your body. So it might be time for people to get into that shit too. I know yoga does that too. That's very much beneficial to both your mind and to your body. So I hope y'all fuck with that message. See how much time I have, because my watch for some reason it kind of went behind, and this is a Michael Kors watch and I don't know how to like set the time on this watch, like so I gotta Google it, because the watch guy who adjusted it, he set the time, but like this shit I don't know what happened to it, but I need to set the time again. I'm dead. So let's go ahead and get an affirmation, and then we will keep it, we will end this live. Make sure that you guys check me out on YouTube. Make sure that you guys also, if you want a direct link to my YouTube, just go to my channel. If you guys want to donate, hashtag Ben Spicy. If you guys want actual legit live readings with me, I'm going to post that link actually in place of the YouTube. And it'll show a calendar and you can actually book a live session with me, which is pretty cool. If you have questions about that, then just hit me up. So before we end this live, I think I'm just going to stop there with 3 affirmators. Is that a word? Affirmations. So for the most part, you have, I embrace all, I am kind, and I do the best that I can. As far as you extending this energy to others, I think that it's important for you to really extend this energy to yourself. Just within the whole reading, I kind of got that self-care, confidence, co-creation, virtue, integrity. Those are really big, like heavy concepts. Those are really big, heavy things that a lot of people tend to overlook. But when you do look at them, they're so beneficial for your spiritual growth. And then even as you are a being within the physical world, to be able to impart that wisdom on other people as well. So it's going to be very important for you to, as you're going through this healing process, to make sure that you're being kind to yourself as you are transforming. So being compassionate with yourself, to understand that, you know, you are doing the best that you can. You know better now. Oh shit, 27. That you know better now, and that you're able to embrace all sides of you, the good and the bad, as we are, you know, trying to sift through things. You know what I'm trying to say? You're developing your moral compass and integrity, so it takes some work. So for the most part, I hope everyone enjoyed this live. My live is ending in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Just playing. I'll see you all next Friday, new time at 8 p.m.